Bro, first year, I got my degree in Domino's and Club. Welcome to the Gen Z podcast. I am Rizaan Rose, and with me as always is the host with the most, the father of the year, and it's only March. JP Jackson, welcome, my friend.
Welcome, Rizaan. How are you?
Man. My bro, it's Ramadan, but nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. You see. Welcome to the audio listeners, of course. You know, please, rate us on the platforms. Also, rate us on Facebook, apparently. That's a thing.
Oh, wow.
I
Facebook.
I saw like you can get reviews on Facebook, man.
Yeah, oh, nice.
Yeah,
but we first need to clean it up though, because I think there's a one scam page, and then
we have a scam page on Facebook.
It's ourselves.
Yo.
We didn't
Don't
close
rate us on Facebook. Wait to be cheap. To after Ramadan.
But so, we have someone in the middle today.
That's what I was going to ask you. Yeah. Sorry. No. We missed each other. You know what I'm saying? So I've been staying from food, drink, and JP. That's Ramadan. Yeah. But yeah, JP brought us a special guest. Who do we have in the middle today, JP?
Today we have Clayton Jardine. Welcome, Clayton.
Thank you very much.
I was expecting a bit more of an intro, man.
Oh, sorry.
Like when you put sardines in a can.
But he is,
it's my childhood trauma.
As is self-proclaimed, a creative colored man that facilitates and comforts the support of others while owning his narrative.
Sheesh.
Okay.
Thank you for that intro. That was a heavy intro. That's what you wanted me to intro.
Can I just say solo? LinkedIn is good now. I needed you to say Tinder. Bro. Like LinkedIn is good. Yeah. I needed you to say Tinder. You left some meat on the bone.
Hey.
It's Ramadan. Do we say?
That should be the reminder. Yeah. That's my signal, Rizaan. Too much. That's my signal. Sorry. Yes. Yes. Facilitates comfort.
Yeah.
Like the stay soft. What's that? Fabric softener. Comfort. Thank you so much for having me today, Chance. I mean, it's Palm Sunday. It's fast as well. Yeah. I just told them that before I got here, I had to duck in the car because the church is just around the corner. And I was just scared that, some of my congregants and people would give me a side eye on my way to here. Well, thank you so much for having me.
You also wanted confirmation of the verse that was spoken today, so that when he goes back, then he can just blend in. You remember that reading?
Yeah. Listen, I'm Muslim, and I don't know if you guys remember this. So I don't know the consequences of not paying attention in church. What is that like? What happens there?
When they hit you what was the text?
Is that text?
They spoke about God and how good He is and what He promised, and they're like, no, that wasn't really what they said. But thank you for sharing.
Did they give, but wait, okay, on a real thing. We colored people, so did we get hiding? If we didn't. I just want to know, what are the consequences for not paying attention in church?
I never got hiding. I think in church, if you make a move, but those pinches.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that's in church.
Yeah. Afterwards, it's just your Oma giving you a look like you didn't need to go to church. She would be
some. You'll be like, can we have steers tonight? Then they'll be like, but we have steers at home.
You two were one of those.
One of those.
You didn't earn it, man.
Yeah.
Because what's funny though? I'll know the story. Because I went to church when I went to Namibia. Because Lars Namibian and Paul, they're brothers. Anyway, so firstly, church was Afrikaans. Savor. From 1652.
It's 1650.
That's oddly specific.
It's oddly
That's
specific.
oddly
Yeah.
specific.
Time
That's oddly
traveler, yeah.
specific. I'm gonna
If
Google
you
it.
know,
now.
you know. Anyway,
It's 80 below.
exactly. So the Afrikaans is like, it was like a lot. So then, but also, they Seventh-day Adventist, man. So like whole days, basically. Like
Okay.
religious,
Yeah.
right? So I went from house to house, just doing vibes, like religious things. So then there was like a moment where at one of the stops, we were in a room together and they were like, so what did the pastor speak about today? And nobody could answer except for me. Except for me. But you know what's funny, man? The reasoning wasn't like, nah, we just weren't paying attention because like it's church, though. Us because the Afrikaans is too much. And I was like, no, as the South African, as one of the 11 of the 13 official languages, I must represent. You know? So I was like, oh wait, so the speaker spoke about, you know what I'm saying?
Kudos to you.
But
Full marks.
Full
but
marks.
also, like, what did help is that Laos daddy roasted me in church. So
In
I was like, he made fun of me in church. And man, barely like met me properly, bro.
But he put
He's
you on
like,
blast.
songs that I was on an island, bro. Nah,
The only thing you could do
the
is
shots are coming from
decipher.
everywhere, but the streets aren't safe. Streets aren't safe, you know what I'm saying? Sorry,
The number change.
bro, with experience. The quickest ever. Yo.
And also, can you speak Afrikaans well? Or?
So well is a bit much.
Yeah.
Oh, what I mean.
I'm from Elsie. Like, can you?
But Clayton,
Our tangent ball.
Exactly.
please help our audience understand.
Please.
Who is Clayton?
I mean, well, that intro it was quite very specific. Like you said, a creative. I'm odd also. Extremely odd. I can make an example.
Please.
So I would come in back in varsity when I was studying. They would, or even now today, when it's my turn to speak, I would say when I feel like I want to add something, people will be like, wait, Clayton, can you just calm down? And the reason because I tend to deep dive on very, that shouldn't, like, at least they used to tell me like, yo, you don't have to be so serious about things, you can lighten up, you know? So I'm too deep for an intro, I would say.
That's a bar, yeah. That's a bar.
So I think I'm just more of an experiential type of person. I'm passionate about my community, friends and family, and I would say questioning a lot of things. Because I feel sometimes we do things like not mandatory, what's the word? The other word?
Compulsory or
No,
just
the other one. Mundane things.
Oh.
And you think to yourself like, but why am I doing this? You know? So I would say as a person, I'm more of an experience. So I can't really, besides that intro, in a social setting, I wouldn't say I have a...
So, no, sorry, continue.
Yeah, I'm going on a tangent.
Okay, so like, I resonate with that because I'm also a creative, and this was actually brought to my attention by my therapist. That lol. This brought to my attention that as a creative, I'm always seeking meaning. And it sounds like you also have that. Like, you don't want ordinary, you want extraordinary. Like, this must be deeper. Pause. This must be like, there must be more to this. So how does question? How has that affected your relationships? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you seeing someone? Are you with
No,
someone?
not at the moment, no. But I would say it was a good element I would bring to the relationship, I would say, in the past. So there's not more to that. I would say.
Okay.
So it was
Keep it on the surface.
I think it's a good dynamic with the right person.
Jency and the seas for connection, you say. So you were one of those people that went to one high school and then finished matric at another one. So you were in Rocklands High and then you went to private premier at matriculated. So what was that like?
What?
I told you, JP's private wiskunde needs a raise.
So I think at Rocklands it was an amazing experience. I've learned a lot, got a lot of friends from the high school, and just the dynamics. So I grew up in Sramatan. Is it part of Mitchell's Plain? It's kind of, it's.
Do you have a different postal code?
I don't know. I think so. Yeah. I think it's a different postal code. But anyway, what I was saying is that. So I always speak about like I travel from Sramatan and I go into Mitchell's Plain and go to Rocklands, and there's always like the shift that happens. Like you come from, I would say, to a certain extent, a very safe type of area, but then you move into Mitchell's Plain and you're like, okay, cool, that specific area, like, okay, cool, you need to be alert and be aware, and then you get home and you're like, okay, cool, my guard is down. So I think in that experience moving at high school, but I also enjoyed it, besides being robbed, one day. But I still enjoyed it. It was a life lesson over there. And how I came to... Is there any questions?
No.
Okay, cool. And then I went to Premier College. So what happened was I took physics and pure math.
And at
Physics
that moment, he knew he...
Yeah, basically. And that ended my career. My academic journey at Rocklands. Failed a year. And then I would say, afforded the privilege, and I'm grateful for that opportunity to go and kind of finish my matric. So all they did was, okay, cool, you drop that subjects, and then you would pick other subjects.
Listen, I'm from Northern Suburbs, so where is Premier College? Because we're just saying this like it's just like
Athlone.
In Athlone. Okay, that's a great start. Remember, Athlone is like Mitchell's Plain, a country on its own.
Just
which Athlone? Crawford.
What's the Rondebosch East? Crawford? No.
So okay. That's fine. I recently learned that like when you say Crawford, don't say Rondebosch.
Why not?
Oh, recently.
Nah, because offense was taken.
Yeah.
Don't unsubscribe. I'm just a messenger.
The reason why I'm saying that's because there's a new Toyota on the corner, or not new, it's been there, and it literally says on the board, Toyota Rondebosch East. And I was like, so it's not, and there's a Burger King. Burger King is listed as Rondebosch East.
No, I don't think there's an issue with the Rondebosch East. I think it's the fact that calling Crawford Rondebosch East, man. I think that's the T. I think that's the okay, cool. I think I know where it is. Is it the one that's like is it Kromboom?
Spot on. How do you just know that? Like
you say you know your country.
Geography. GPS.
So that transition was fine for you?
It was really interesting because I would say it's a private school.
Yeah, so service every day.
Every day, and like students are like grade 11 matric, and they come in with cars and things. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Oh, that's different. That's different. That's
different. So the transition was it was an interesting one because I learned, different things from different people, meet different people. But I think the most interesting part of it would be that, in my experience, because I had to switch from those subjects that I failed, and I did IT at the time at Rocklands. And they didn't have the time to flip like a whole lot of more subjects. So I moved on to math lit. I had the best time of my life.
Math.
So if you don't know what subject to take, don't be certain on physics and pure math. Don't. And then I did economics, which is business, and tourism. And I think I finished second in the grade in matric. And then I think for my math lit I was top, and economics I was second. So it was a massive comeback.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah.
That's one of the proud things. One of the things
Yeah,
I'm really proud of.
Yeah, the comeback is stronger than
But then that set you up
setback.
for... Then you didn't know what you wanted to do.
Wow. That words. Yeah, no, definitely I didn't. I don't know how you know that. But okay, I did not know.
Because you joined a program after school called RLabs.
Yeah, it's actually institution. It's a
An
non-profit.
institution.
non-profit.
Do you mind telling us a bit about RLabs?
Definitely. Okay.
Fix his order.
So it was basically what they did, or what RLabs organization, they going to marginalized communities and they do upskilling. So the things are not necessary or wasn't necessarily never mind. It wasn't, I would say, accredited in my, I don't know what's the state now, but it was actual skills, like they would do like, graphic design or whatever the case may be. And you learn these 3-week courses or micro courses. And I spent like for a large year just doing that, traveling to there. I met more people there, and I actually learned to understand the different dynamics of different people in different communities, which is what I'm grateful for. And over there, I met a couple of friends, mentors, facilitators. So my facilitator at the time at RLabs, he's actually still my mentor and a close friend today. And I think that's what's important, that I would say that, growing up and finishing matric, whatever the case may be, what we need, people of color need, or coloreds, I would say, need, is that mentor, to show you, okay, don't do this, do that, maybe do that. And that's where I learned, different courses. And that's how I actually discovered or came upon Tsiba Business School, which is where I studied and work now. Yeah. And the crazy story behind that was that they came to the library. So the cafe, I would say, was situated just around the corner, and the library was like a career type of day. And Tsiba Business School, someone was there with their stands and the flyers and I would say their pencils and all those type of things. I'm not gonna lie, I was not interested in studying at all. I just wanted that like pencil case. That's it. That's it. Fact. I just wanted the pencil case and everything and all those goodies. Yeah. Grabbed the application form, came home, and then as I'm walking down the road, my neighbor comes out, and she comes out with the same fly and says, "You should try, try this place. Maybe you can study here." And at that moment, I was like, you know what? Even though I really went for the pencil case, I'm taking this as a sign. She was sent as an omen. And then that's how I was. And then I worked. Actually, I was at work, and I kind of went to for the interview. And at that time at Tsiba, you had to be interviewed in order to be a student there. Yeah.
There's so many things that happen there. There's like the first gem that I got is like, as colored people, we need mentors. That's but I like that. I want to stay there for like a little bit longer.
So what do you think? For me, mentorship, right?
Yes.
That we should not confuse it with telling you what to do, right? Because mentorship is just that. If you're stuck at a point, I can tell you what I would do in that situation. Yeah. Use that with your own decision making. Don't make the decisions that I made. So, and I think that's where I feel like the mentorship and guidance can take a turn. Because a lot of the times we make decisions for you, thinking that that is what you want. Yeah. When as a mentor, you should just be facilitating the person's decisions by being that sounding board to their thought patterns. What's your opinion on mentorship, Rizaan?
So, I obviously, because I was today years old right now. Yeah. This is happening in real time. So the first thing I wanted to say was, at university they do offer mentoring and tutoring, but I never like I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like who are they? But now, like, that's one of the things that I yearn for is someone who can just sort of like just show me the way. And I think a lot of us are forced to almost like enter the path and then pave the way ourselves. And we hope that like we can, be guided. But I think that's also a sign that maybe we must be the mentors. And not the mentees.
And what I can add on to that as well, what mentorship also gives you more than just that. So for example, you speak to someone who's much more established, whatever the case may, whatever pathways, because you have mentors in career, studies, spiritual life, religion, whatever the case may be. But I think the most important, what I've learned aspect of that is someone kind of affirming what you are doing is on the correct path. Like that, I think that's one of the most important things. Because you think to yourself like, oh, but he's well established or she's well established. They're actually confirming and saying, you know what, that's actually a good way of looking or doing things. So that means like you're like,
and something that you wrestle with a lot if you're the first in the family to do it, right? Because there's no blueprint.
Yeah.
So you stepping into waters that no one else that you know has done. Yeah. So I think, and it is difficult.
And just on that, as a colored generation or people of color generation, a lot of us are the first. We might not be the first to go to university, but we might be the first to go to that university. We might not be the first at that university, might be at the first at that university studying this particular degree. So it's still new, it's still new, it's nuanced, it's still niche. And that's why, like, as you know, we like, it's because that's also why, sorry, just to, before you go, that's also why a lot of colored people ended up doing the same type of work. All were nurses, all were teachers, all were policemen, because that's where the mentorship
or the affirmations came from.
Or that's where it came from. That's like, that's what they knew. And so now, obviously, with more access, we're trying to just enter into different spaces. Go for the check.
But then I think this is a great path to, when you were at Tsiba, you did a course called Leadership and Development, where you say you had the opportunity to re-author your life.
Wow.
Like,
You say.
You know what I'm saying? Direct quotes. First and sources. First and sources.
Powerful.
Did we have this interview before? Is JP a time traveler?
Okay, so what was the question before dropping it? Well, it was a major.
so when in that course,
Yeah.
you were able to reflect on your life at that point.
Yeah.
And you said that you were able to then re-author your life to control the narrative that you want.
Yeah.
So tell us about that process and why that course was so profound to you.
The reason why I was a little bit because it sounds powerful. It's powerful. Honestly.
Love it.
It's cooking.
So I think just to explain what my experience on the reauthoring is like, I just came to a point through, the leadership and self-development module at the time, is that there was a lot of deep diving and a lot of deep work that you had to do. Like, who are you now? Like, I mean, they're asking in the interview who you are, and you're like, who am I? So those type of questions kind of probably and pushed in a certain direction, and to realize that, okay, cool, might just be where I am now, but to get to a point of like self-actualization as to who you want to become, you're like, okay, cool, I'm gonna be that person. I don't want to, follow the certain, I would say, patterns and cycles that of my family or what I was going through. Okay, cool. I need to realize and take responsibility for my narrative, which is what I do, when I do, how I do it, who I am, and kind of move into that direction. So you set, in essence, the goal. And through the leadership and self-development module, there were things like, I think, theory U, some crazy theories you can have a look in your own time, like as to like deep philosophies onto life. So it's a lot of like, so I would say it's like a self-help type of module, as well as the leadership aspect of it. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. And why do you feel like that was the opportunity for you to take control of your own development in terms of where you wanted to be, where you saw yourself?
Okay, so this is coming back to the community or the people. Like, you see people or things happening to people doing certain things, but you see the kids or them or the families, they do the exact same things over and over and over. And I think I just got really irritated with it. Like, you see it, don't go down that road. But the person still goes down that road. So I think in the essence of, rewriting and just wanting to do things a lot differently to the benefit of myself, my community, my friends, and my family. That kind of pushed me to latch onto that.
There's a deeper conversation that like is brewing here.
No, go.
Okay, so okay. I give permission. That's
Yeah.
I was getting permission. So obviously,
The green light.
Obviously the Gen Z, right? And the C is for just figuring things out. And as people of color, we are so, like, our history and where we stem from is a blur. You know what I'm saying? We are mixed, but mixed with what? And so, as it stands, we have to self-identify a lot, right? And we self-identify within ourselves, in the family, in the community, and that sort of. We just take on that, let's call it artificial identification. Wow. And so what this program, what this course, from what I'm gauging from it, is that you are now getting these tools that you can then use to identify yourself. And then it gives you that platform where once you know who you are, going to who you want to be and where you want to go becomes easier. Because at least like you have a lot more tenets, a lot more foundations to build from. Whereas, you know, as the current status quo, it is that like we already predefined in these, you know, subset roles, and we have to just like become the gangster, become, you know, like making it is getting a used BMW that makes a noise. Yeah. Making it is, you know, a girl with straight hair, even though, you know what I'm saying? But like now, you know, it's the times have changed.
Yeah. And I think it comes down to a lot of unlearning as well, right? In that when you have that moment to look at yourself and what you want to be, you have to unpack what you thought you knew about yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have to say, okay, cool, is this really true?
Yeah.
Is this the reality, you know? And yeah, and I think that the time that we are currently in, I think in these last 3-4 years when it comes to the colored voice and I think, I wouldn't say persona, I would say persona is really...
Marketing terms.
So it's really like grown, and it's not that persona that was previously perceived like, okay, cool, this person speaks a certain type of way, etc., etc. You're from this area, so this is what you do. So I think over the last couple of years, it's really grown.
It's so funny that you mentioned, because I also see the pandemic block as the shift. Like even like it's the pandemic and TikTok, where the information is different now.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, like even TikTok itself, like depending on what your algorithm is. I think that what TikTok has done, I think it's educated us people, and without your permission, you know, you got to think like, okay, cool, what's this about? Yeah. Oh, that's how you put the plug together, or whatever the case. Oh, that's how you wild. Yeah. Just an example. That's what. Yeah. So I think that was I would say the benefit of.
So what did you study at Tsiba?
I was going to say, can we get back to the business?
I studied business administration.
Okay.
So I did the high certificate, which is NQ5, and then I did the degree, and I'm currently studying the postgrad as well. And working at the same time. That's what I did. Yeah, that's what I studied at Tsiba.
But you also work at Tsiba now?
Yes, I do.
So what do you do in your current role?
Okay, before we go to the role, before we move on to the anything else. So just some history on studying at Tsiba. So my first year, I don't know, what's your experience? I don't know. Yeah, you probably have studied. I don't know. I can't make that assumption. What is your first experience been in your first year? Like in your first year? Like I failed a module. I failed a module in first year. I don't know what's the experience. I think a lot of people like.
I think it genuinely depends. So I was fortunate that like all the modules that I did were either extensions of things that I did at high school, or if it is new work, it's like a chilled elective, like an English type thing. Like you know what I'm saying? So I was very fortunate. Where the risk started was that third and second year. But first year, I got my degree in Domino's and Club. But at the same time, I studied science and I was very passionate about science. Yeah. I do know for a fact the commerce faculty minor was struggling. I know for a fact.
So
because what was high school accounting, and you know, it's a different language.
Also the math was
different language, yeah.
So I had a different experience in that in school things are a lot more structured. In that, okay, you go to class, and then as soon as you went to university, it becomes optional. So you whether you attend the lecture, don't care. Whether you actually study for the test, he doesn't care or she doesn't care. It ended up being so much freedom that you got lost. And then unless you, in my case, created your own sort of structure, that was the way that I kind of navigated that. But it's like being thrown in the deep end in that you, from being told what to do to now, hey, pick yourself up. This is what you need to do. And I think that was a difference.
And I think mentorship is important in that first year of study as well.
I was going to ask you, what was the cause? Was it the actual degree of difficulty, or was it like the lack of structure, the adjustment, if you will?
I think I failed accounting. I never did accounting.
The last time I
absolutely
degree of difficulty.
Struggled with accounting. And the funny thing is that JP was actually my lecturer once upon a time. Lecturer.
So I was going to bring that in.
And I still failed.
What?
Yeah, he was my lecturer.
Do you know? Nah, wait, actually, because this is giving. What does your best friend do, man? I couldn't tell you.
We don't know.
I couldn't tell you. At night, he's Batman.
So in so part of studying accounting, you do articles and you decide to do articles in various places. So the audit firm that I did articles at, was providing this course at Tsiba, where you teach the fundamentals of accounting. Because the idea is that in entrepreneurship, you need to present a business plan. And the accounting is just the language used to show your business plan. And I gave a few lessons.
So did you fail? Yes! I took a moment for me to realize that it's not that you're not good enough.
It's his fault. So Clayton told me this before. And I was like, I hope JP doesn't remember.
I knew it did when I came in here.
Commiserations. Goodness me.
So I think that was a personal battle with myself. Because I remember in class. I'm not gonna lie, I do remember him coming through with the same now. The way he taught, but it still didn't work. You know. I actually went and I rewrote. I wrote that module about three times, and I failed all 3 times. Obviously, the first test, I was out in like 15 minutes. It's a 3-hour paper. everyone else look at me like, but you can see like confusion, like. Does he know everything? Are we all sweating, you know? Second, 40 minutes. The third, about an hour, you know? But then the second year came and then, I was there for the all 3 hours. And I passed. So the moral of the story, stay for all 3 hours.
Or just wait for JP to leave.
So I wasn't there the whole time. So by the way, all 3 of those courses I was not attending all 3 of those. Disclaimer. And yes, I did tutoring. I didn't actually do the actual lecture.
Okay.
So, but irrespective, I was facilitating the. Clearly, I didn't do a good enough job to get him through the first time.
To me, it was lecturing because it's the first time learning this. You know, so I couldn't tell between is this tutoring or this lecturing?
Yes,
because that was the level of understanding when it comes to accounting.
That's like because I used to teach physical science and math, man, and so I used to tell the learners, okay, for the revision. We're doing this. Those of you that are seeing this for the first time, for the vision. That's you. It's scarce revision, just straight vision.
Yeah. But I think it's just also an eye-opener in that we all have skills, right? And sometimes we take certain skills for granted. The fact that I was doing accounting at that stage for close to 4 or 5 years. Like, you get used to the language and you see it all the time, so that the fundamentals are so ingrained in you that you don't understand that that's actually a difficult concept to grasp for someone that doesn't know. So it really taught me that you have to really break it down to the like you said, the fundamental, to try and make them understand, some of them did pass.
So not me.
Clayton unfortunately didn't make that one, but yeah.
So that's my experience, and I know you asked a follow-up question, but I was working there, I think.
Yes, yeah.
Wow, I think it was a massive full circle type of moment when you moved. But I've been there 7 years now, 8 years, kind of furniture there. But I'm saying, working with your lecturers, working with the lecturers and the staff that they saw you through studying, and it's an amazing experience. I remember once one of the lecturers, but he does another program, other programs like the entrepreneurship lead or anchor. So he does a lot of exchange projects with American universities that come over. We would go into the different townships and communities and help out with the businesses. So our students and their students will collaborate and assist now, obviously. And then after working with him a couple of times, so I moved from the library into marketing eventually. I was working in the library at the time. And he actually came to me and asked me, will you still be working, with me? I'm like, yes. He said, I'm really happy for that because I really enjoy working with you. But I'm like, what? Just that moment there, I think when it comes to you, moving into your career, you want to hear that from someone that's really established and also taught you. I think, that was an amazing experience.
I have a question about Tsiba,
Yeah.
right? The business administration, business school. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm doing a JP. So, obviously now, because you've experienced both sides of the place now. You've learned there and you've also not, I guess, worked there or taught there. Wait, did you mention in what capacity you work there?
Yeah, I'm in marketing.
Oh, you do the marketing for
the business school.
Okay. I didn't hear that.
Oh,
not gonna lie. Was it? Yeah.
I did mention it at that movie. I was in the library and then I moved into marketing.
Okay.
But sometimes I tend to speak inside
No,
mouth.
you're good. You're good. Because I was gonna. It's not. It's me. Because I was gonna ask you. Obviously, because this is an institution that's a lot more different to the conventional universities, right? So, what essentially is the offering for the everyday layman, the you and I's, the average Joes? What is the offering like? Why should we want to come to Tsiba?
Based on my experience, like I just shared previously, is that you get a lot more from studying. I don't know how your experience was here at the other universities or whatever the case. But you don't just come out there with a degree. You come out there developed as a person. For you to be able to answer questions like who you are and you have some sort of trajectory. Maybe not career, but more on a personal aspect. Because what I've learned is that once you have know yourself, not really know yourself, but that sounds so, but know where you're going or just who you are, etc. Everything else kind of I wouldn't say fall into place, but it comes on your path once you know that. Because sometimes you're like, okay, cool, I want to study this. I want to go into this direction. You do what you study, you work there. You're like, no, I actually don't like doing this. But you flip it where you're able to, I would say, discover yourself and what you want to do, whatever. Things you find yourself in that type of spaces, meet that type of people. Okay, cool, I'm interested in this, let's do this. So I think when it comes to that aspect, when it comes to the growth as a person, I would say that's the most important. And I would say the UVP, marketing terms, when it comes to studying at the institution. All the other things.
UVP, what does it stand for?
Unique value proposition. So essentially what makes it different.
Okay. Yeah. Unique value proposition. What makes you different?
And the persona is what your unique value proposition attaches, that buying persona. So whoever purchases the product matches the UVP.
Yeah. So you go into a persona. Okay, cool. JP lives here. JP does this. JP earns
not
this.
A good tutor.
Whatever.
He needs this.
Yeah. How do we get JP to buy the product or do something? No, this is where we're gonna place ourselves. JP likes going. Whatever the case may be, that's where you position yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So, wait, just hold on. The one thing that you said was very interesting about you getting more than just a degree. with general universities, I'm speaking for myself, but probably Lyle also. When we say getting more than just a degree, you get trauma. Dead, crazy dead. And I don't think university made me a better person. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it helped me develop. Cause it's unfortunate personal experience is that like after a while it becomes toxic and competitive. Toxic if you like don't like that, but like it becomes extremely competitive because it's about trying to get the top 5 so that you can get access to this. And that's not necessarily what we as a country needs right now. We need everyone to win so that we can grow together. And unfortunately, the culture university is like, no, we're trying to weed out the best of the best so that they can then be sold off to the next level from there. And that's why I'm just like, what's the sell? And I like that you put it that way. Because I mean, hearing what I've said, have you experienced any of that?
Well, the counting is.
But that's
about it. I promise that's the last jab. That's the last jab. But no. If that's, I wouldn't say that. No, I felt like I gained a lot more than what I've.
So here's the thing then. Like, there's definitely things that you added to your like person and stuff. Like, definitely things that I know now that I didn't know back then, type of thing. But I think, like, for example, if I just qualify with my degree and I go into the workplace, exactly, like Lyle shaking his head, that's gonna do nothing. It's gonna do absolutely nothing. Do you know, my lecturer said that, yeah, it's crazy. My supervisor, sorry, shout out Prof Fielding.
Shout out.
So wait. He said that like one of the things that should be a part of all science degrees is ethics. Like as a module, and it must be like a core module. You must learn that thing from straight through. And it comes back to that question about why is life orientation not orientating us towards life? You know what I'm saying? Like it literally boils back down to that thing because it's bro, TikTok teaches us more than school. That's embarrassing. That's flagrant. People are getting paid tens of thousands of rands to teach us nothing, maybe. Whereas people are doing it for free on TikTok. And it's not even that deep. Just change something. You know what I'm saying? Just change something. That's why I'm like, nah, bro, that's actually massive respect because I think that particular institution, it's insular, so you get to design your course as you almost like as what works for the student type thing. I imagine based on this is the current scenario, this is the current landscape. This is how these teachings will best help our students in the future. That's kind of the mentality. I don't think our universities have that thought. I don't think they do, bro. I don't think they looked at, okay, now there's a pandemic. We should get science learners ready to tackle a pandemic. We should get, the community health ready to tackle. Nah, I don't think that happens. I could be wrong. In the chat, in the comments.
Tell me.
Like, what do you think? Am I spitting? Am I lying? Am I talking nonsense?
I actually have a question. So
go for it.
So for Elo, like, do you think that it's not enough, or do you think that what is being taught in high school at the age that you are is maybe there's a clash between age? Because I can't remember anything in Elo, but I think there are.
I think it's the focus. I think they. Or at least when I did it, a lot of the focus was on dances and group projects, that sort of thing, and not like things you would use to orientate your life, like taxes or the basics on self-development, those type. So we spend more time working in groups doing this one project instead of focusing on those individual aspects.
And it's deep, is that like the only thing we learn from group projects is that you can't trust people in the group. We did like deep, but we didn't even learn how to actually function in a group.
Yeah.
All we learned is can't trust these niggas.
And what's crazy is that there's a whole science or theory behind group development.
You can learn on
like
YouTube.
forming, norming, storming, whatever the case may be. And because I know that even when working with groups, I'm like, okay, cool, now they storming. In the back of my mind, I'm like, cool, I don't need to really like do anything. They might just storm it out. You know? So I think, and then the other thing is like, for example.
Business studies. Yes, okay, got you.
So you did on high school?
Actually, no, I did it. That's the link.
Were your students successful?
Like I would say, how do you introduce text and stuff on high school to a matriculant?
Like
how would you? How would you do it?
I think that's the perfect place to put it.
Double take.
I do think that's about
Double take.
And how to use the E.
The tables, understand. I would not say you calculate it, just know how
just
to.
give the format.
Yes.
So that when you see it for the first time, you're not
You're
like
not-
manging.
Yes.
Bro, that's so. I feel that way about English. The English language, how far art thou was unnecessary.
Oh, the Shakespeare.
That was unnecessary. Like
Just replace
the
number change.
And this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying do away with it. Focus. As in, we did LO once every second week. That's not enough. Or maybe, once every second week in a 2-week cycle, on a 14-day cycle, once every second week. And then the other one would be phys ed, PT. So we didn't get LO every day. I'm not talking about grade 8 and 9. I'm talking about grade 10 to 12. It actually mattered where you remember your schooling.
I think, sorry to break, I think we got LO on a Friday every week. And we knew Friday's already short. Getting LO on a Friday, I'm like, free period, free Friday, whatever.
No, what I'm saying is like the one Friday would be the LO and the other Friday would be the phys ed.
Okay. What high school,
The Settlers in Belleville. Okay. Sorry. So with regard to English, like this is my last soliloquy, right?
It was a good one.
It's like we spend so much time on literature.
Yeah.
And not enough time on how to actually report right. How to actually do, because they'd give you an essay assignment and then you must just do the essay. But there's no like progression on that. Not like, okay, cool, this is what you're doing wrong, this is what you need to change. You know what I'm saying? You just have the rubric. Like there you have the rubric. Maybe what does that do for me?
And I think the teachers, I think to a certain extent they're also frustrated with it because of like how much work they need to put in as well. And what's being. So I think there's some.
And just on that, they have to put so much work, and we're still learning from SparkNotes. So what are you actually doing? I'm looking at you, English teachers. You're doing all that work just for us to learn on SparkNotes.
But we do appreciate that.
Now we do appreciate you.
It's the system.
It's the system. Yeah.
And I think that's what we're boiling down to. We need a system that equips.
I grabbed this episode actually.
We need a system that equips in any space so that you can feel you can take that next step in whatever you want to do.
So, we are going to transition towards our games segment. But first, every week we try and do this. We try and interact with our audience on social media.
Okay.
Right? So we asked the question on IG. And the question is, I'm a color South African. Of course I... ... So myself and JP are just going to do like... So 2 each, 3 each.
Sure.
Yeah, because it's liquor. And read it with the voice. I like.
What the voice?
Don't... La, how do you feel about this? Can we not read their handles? Or must we?
No, I don't. Like, I wanted to actually ask this on IG.
Okay!
Like, I wanted to ask, like, should we just keep it anonymous? Because
I'm roasting some people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
So let's
keep it anonymous.
Let's keep it anonymous from now.
Keep it anonymous.
So I'll do 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Since it's Sunday, listen to old school music on Sunday morning before going to church. And then this person was eating crisp chips on bread. Even use formal English.
On bread.
Crisp chips.
I get it. I'm a kind of South African. Of course, here by us is a valid location.
Yeah. Big
That's my favorite.
big facts.
That's my favorite.
That's so
Here by us.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's so good.
This one. But I feel like this is a person of color. But I'm a person of color.
Yeah.
Of course, I will yell at my parents softly behind closed doors. Give a bonus. Give a bonus.
I'm a colored South African. Of course, I make soup on 1 drop of rain.
Facts.
That is my mother.
The inverse of that is hot. Ons doen was. That's literally the inverse. The weather's lekker. It will be June and the sun is. We're doing was.
Yeah.
Of course, we're doing was. Oh, that's so good. This guy was actually I'm gonna give this brother's name. Sorry, this is underscore that guy Frana underscore that this brother. Sorry, it's a crazy name, but he gave a paar responses. As much as I said, I'm a kind of South African. Of course, I listen to Amapiano, even though I don't understand what they're saying. To all of you that commented, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Can I get it one? Go for it.
I'm a colored South African. Of course, I either threaten you or greet you when I say hello.
Yes. I'm sorry, like that one. Normally we do encourage participation.
I'm
But
fine.
I just feel like that was worth just observing.
I'm fine.
I feel like that was a like necessary just an observation. So we are debuting. There's must a T there, man. I don't know. Sorry. You see, I didn't pay attention to English. Spark notes. We're debuting a new Segi, and the name is the name. I'm calling it the Quizler.
Oh, wow.
Right, so I'll be your quiz master. So how the game works is, I will read 3 words, and you have to guess what is the category.
Okay.
So, for example, Blossom, Buttercup, and Bubbles.
Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
That's the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the game. So, it's going to be this 4, and it's going to be progressively more difficult.
Okay. But 3 for each.
Yeah, 3 for each. There's 4 rounds.
Yeah.
So, each of you can just like, you know what I'm saying? So, it's
You ready, Clayton?
Clayton,
Together.
JP, solo.
Together, nice.
But are we a team?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously in the comments, like if they mang, like, I trust you.
I trust you.
Okay. 1995, 2007, and 2019.
Springboks.
Springboks
Yeah.
World Cup. Okay.
Yeah.
Lekker. Okay.
Is it just you? Is it me?
No, it's all of us.
All of us. Okay. Category, the next one. Evans, Pratt, and Hemsworth.
Chris.
Specifically.
CHRIS.
No, specifically. Because I could have said Rock. I could have said Brown. What do these have in common?
Wait.
Evans, Pratt, and Hemsworth.
Oh, they're all Marvel.
There we go. They're all Marvel Chris's.
See, now that's when you need.
There we go,
You
there
need
you
a
go,
Lyle
there you
there. Well done, Lyle.
I watch too much movies.
I tried to tailor it for everyone.
Yeah.
Progressively difficult. That was a big jump.
No, you got it. You
Yeah,
knew, but you just needed the specifics.
Yeah.
Tropical Punch, Lemon and Lime, and Blue Raspberry.
Tropical.
No. Tropical Punch, Lemon and Lime, and Blue Raspberry.
Brian?
Yes! Yes! Flavors of Ferrari. If I just said ice pop, you would have got it immediately.
I still haven't tasted it.
Yeah, no, that's not why we're doing here.
Yeah.
And the last one is going to be the most difficult one. Maybe. Who
Okay.
knows? So in the comments, if you have it, you have it. If you don't,
You don't.
you don't. Hugo, Booker, and Pulitzer.
You go.
Hugo, Booker, and Pulitzer.
Clue.
Like I know.
Clue.
you.
What?
Clue. Give a clue.
Oh, give a clue.
No, but like I know you mentioned the one day that the Pulitzer Prize is like the writing thing. So
You go.
what is
Booker
Booker
and Pulitzer.
and Pulitzer? Is it all like?
It's a writing.
Is it all like awards that you can receive?
Yeah.
Specifically, you actually have it. You
Oh,
actually
it's a writing award.
That's all writing awards.
Yeah.
So the Pulitzer is the
Yeah.
like for like literally
Yeah.
every type of exceptional writing. When you were a journalist,
You see, I listened to you on the podcast.
a musician.
Because you spoke about Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar, yeah.
So the Pulitzer is journalists, media,
Yeah.
musicians, all that.
Yeah.
The Booker is for fiction writing,
Okay.
and then the Hugo is for science fiction writing.
Okay.
But it's all literature
Nice.
and writing awards.
Well done.
Okay. We're learning.
Oh,
This is
wait,
the
wait.
quiz.
We're learning.
Oh, wait. So definitely we're gonna try and have
I
this
like
every
this.
now
Don't
and
you want
then.
to ask if we can? Is that going to be the name? You don't participation in the name.
Oh, okay, yeah. What do we in
But
the
do you-
comments? Yeah.
What do you call this segment?
What would you like the segment to be called? So far, the interim name is the Quizler. Because it's me, Rizaan, the Quizler. So JP introduced this one.
Do we have to explain the game?
Oi.
So in the bowl,
There we
we
go.
have the game that the podcast is quite known for called Say Me Now. A series of hypotheticals. You just give us your tick.
Yeah.
Right? Say Me Now. Someone offered you a box containing everything
That's what
you ever lost. What would you look for first?
Oh, box.
Everything you ever lost. What would you look for first?
My bro, Yana, can I just say, like there's a paar clothing items. There's a paar phones, my bro. That you just misplaced at school. You know someone says that. You know someone says that. But like you and your mom, you know, no, when you lose something, your mommy doesn't say, "Oh, you lost it." It'll be like, "You threw that away." Sy het alweer hy weggesmyt. But yo, so this is one cardigan, my bro. Yo, it's a crispy one, man. It's a crispy one. That's yo, but I know this is niche right now, but this is a cardigan I must be if you're out there. And you're warming somebody up. They're like, love for that.
If you're warming
Because I
somebody
didn't know
up.
where I lost that. Yes, like, because like you lose, like if you go to the beach, you're losing random stuff, bro. Stuff getting lost in the sand.
Yeah.
What do you guys?
I'm still thinking actually, but I think, wow, a laptop.
Yo.
I think that's like the gateway to everything. You know.
Where did you
What
lose
did you
your
lose a laptop?
Oh wait, can you repeat that?
If you
Did you read your question?
I think you threw me off. You threw me off.
That's Rizaan's fault.
You threw me off.
It's
the Quizler's fault.
It's a quiz.
Nah, man, he said that he watched the episodes. I didn't know you didn't have to say my now etiquette.
Oh,
but he did the question.
So you were offered a box containing everything.
Oh, what did I lost?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's one thing?
What would you look for first?
That's pretty funny. But also at the same time, zero context. No one knows what he was on.
Okay.
Nobody knows what he was on. That's funny. I like that. This I can add this episode. Like breaking the fourth wall. This is good fun. My
I think.
days.
I was gonna say something else, but it's fine. I think I lost my Samsung earphones, earbuds. So
Ooh, facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
I left it in the Uber, not in the Uber, in the
Facts. Yo.
I get into work. I'm like, I have one earphone in my ear. I'm like, where's the case? And right there, everything just dropped.
Yeah.
Call the bald. He answers. Eventually, he says, first thing he says is, "Why do you leave your things in my car?"
Yo, but I was giving that same tiny. Gesmijt sê die goed.
Yeah.
And I knew at that moment that I'm not getting that. Yeah. So
Shame. So I would want to find the speaker that I put on my E250. to make it boost. Because at one point, allegedly, I dropped it somewhere and just never returned.
Yeah.
And
Yes, I thought you were gonna say something like I said. All the money that I lost is gonna tally it up. I thought you were gonna say that. No. You surprised me.
yeah, exactly.
You surprised me, JP.
Money's just money, Rizaan.
Yeah.
Gosh.
You can read like
There was too much money.
Okay.
facts, bro. The good one.
Yeah. I didn't even actually read this.
Can you
I
read
the
it?
first,
Can you read
yeah.
it? Can you read it?
So now, you had to get rid of your laptop or smartphone. Which would it be?
You had to choose.
You had to choose one.
Yeah, to get rid of.
Oh, okay.
Or lose. Lose?
So
Get rid of.
I'll get rid of the laptop as well. I think just because there's a lot of things you can use the phone for that you use your laptop for. And it's obviously communication. I'm not going to sit with the laptop like this. Trying to confirm my location.
You know what I'm saying? The speaker mode doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and
No.
earphones aren't.
It
Like
doesn't happen.
JP.
JP's interesting.
He's so interesting. Like,
What did you choose, Rizaan?
I actually, lost a fair few phones in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And also a laptop, so I know what it's like to lose both. I live in houses, but of course they're gonna steal my
Sure.
stuff.
You didn't lose it though.
No, they stole it. But it's just like the connotation of they stole it, ze het weggegooid and they lost it. Like I lost it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's an ambiguity. I would rather give up this. Just to be different, the cell phone. You know
But
why?
I also give up the cell.
Do you know why? The space on the laptop.
Yeah.
The yellow stuff that you can, and the range, bro.
The games that you can play.
That you see,
Mm.
the
The
friends that
screen
you
is
make along the
bigger.
way.
Yeah.
The screen is bigger.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
no, we know why.
I'm gonna look for that sound. I'm gonna put it in.
Make me sweat. Make me harder. Make it a soft boy. Nee, ook shit, wie doet To the audio listeners, I'm sorry, Oaks. I'm sorry. Oh, jeez. How are you guys finding this episode? Tell us in the comments. You know what I'm saying?
So Clayton, what we like to end of the podcast with is two things, right? One, promote anything that you would like to do. Tsiba, any events that they are throwing coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, if you could say a message to your younger self, what would it be? So let's start with the first one.
I think I wouldn't say do certain things. I'll just leave it with I'd like to thank all like local businesses, etc., for what they're doing and all the entrepreneur space, the creator space, like yourselves as well. Thank you for what you do and what you continue to do. And I'll just urge people to really support the local gents, ladies, whatever the case may be. Because I feel like in that way, our community and things are going to get better and change. That's number one. What would I have done myself?
Not gonna lie, that was good enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you don't want to say anything to your younger self, that was good enough for me.
And then I would say that don't be so hard on yourself. Like, kijk, kapan, man. Just kapan, basically. Yeah, that's it.
Clayton, this has been a movie.
Wow.
This has been such an enjoyable experience. I speak for both of us. We really, really enjoyed having you. JP, take us home.
Take us also has a different meaning now. And if you like this content, please do like, share, subscribe, and rate us on the audio platforms. And we out. Peace.